Testing 1 2 3 4 testing. If somebody said stop and go to you, what would come to mind? I remember swimming in the swimming pool with my friends, and we would play this weird game called Marco Polo, which I have no idea where it came from, but somebody would yell, "Marco!" and then you would try to get as close to them as you possibly could, and then when they yelled "Polo," you'd have to stop real quick. And so it was this game of stop and go. Kind of weird, but yeah, I think of that when I think of stop and go. But I also think of a convenience store that my dad used to work at when I was growing up. It was called Stop and Go. It was a convenience store, kind of like 7-Eleven, or just a small marketplace where you would go in, buy anything that you wanted, probably at a marked up rate than at a regular grocery store, and you could get anything. You could get chewing gum, you could get alcohol, you could get whatever. And I remember as a little kid, my dad worked at a Stop and Go convenience store. And I didn't realize at the time that wasn't the only job that he had. He was also working for 7-Up Bottle Company, and he was driving 70 miles one way to get there on what they called swing shift. That was a 3 p.m. to midnight shift. And he was a substitute teacher. He did all of those things just to help his family, make sure that we had food on the table and clothes on our backs. When I was out looking at this park and I saw these stop signs, immediately I thought of my dad, and I thought about the way that he loved us and the way that he took care of us. Just by seeing a stop sign. It's kind of weird, huh? I think stop and go can also describe many people that really are struggling with who they are. Where do they get their affirmation? Should they go to this school or that school? Should they date this person or that person? Should they live in this region or should they move to another region? Should they go all in on this particular career or should they stop? Is it stop or go? And unfortunately, they can get in a cycle, perhaps you can relate to this, where there doesn't feel like longevity or real purpose in what they're doing. It just, I don't know, life just seems like a series of stops and goes. As I was thinking about my dad, I know for a fact he just did what he needed to do based on the fact that he loved his family. Yeah, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Maybe this isn't the career move for you, but you stick with it, you stay with it for a while. because it will help you to the next thing. And each one is kind of like a building block. It may not be something that you'll stay with for 20 years, but you're building that muscle where you start something and you stick with it, and you have a level of commitment and faithfulness and integrity, and it grows and it builds character. I feel a little bit that way right now as I'm out in a park and the rain is coming down and I feel like I need to stop, and yet, why should I stop? And this is a journey, and I'm inviting you to take it with me. So I hope today is a blessing for you. Just think about it. Life. Stop, go, stop, go. Give yourself a long season of really being intentional where you're at. And I know that sometimes that's not the margin that you have available to you. But if you can, stay for a while. Pour into that relationship for a while. Stay at that school for a while. I think you'll appreciate it more when you finally land that job or that relationship that you were dreaming about. Thanks for taking this journey with me. Hit subscribe, hit like. I would appreciate that. It helps me to get rid of those thoughts about stopping so I can keep going. Take care and be blessed.